Welcome to Come Share the Joy with your host, singer-songwriter Debra Schultz. This week's guest is Linda Hager. Linda and her first husband, Danny, were both ministers and also the founders of Prayer Connection Lighthouse Church in 1988, where they both pastored. They had 3 sons, Timothy, Matthew, and Mark. Not only did they pastor the church, they also started a mission and built a building to house a soup kitchen, clothing, and essentials for the needy in the community. Their first meal that was served was in 1988, where they fed 23 people. The soup kitchen continued for 33 years, with the last meal being a Thanksgiving dinner, where they served over 800 people in 2021. God called Danny home the previous year in 2000, so Linda felt like it was time to retire the soup kitchen the following year. Linda continued ministering and was a widow for 17 years. Then she married her second husband, Johnny Hager, in May 2016, who has been such a blessing to her and very supportive of her ministry. They reside in Boone County, West Virginia. Please welcome Linda Hager to the show.
Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to Come Share the Joy. This evening we are at Myrtle Beach. We came down for Singing in the Sun, and my sister is such a scholar. I'm going to brag on her a little bit. Her name is Linda Hager, and she is my sister, and she is a mentor, a hero. Linda was the one that was the good one, and she set the way for the rest of us girls, and it was pretty rough. Kept walking in your footsteps. But I love her so much, and she's such a scholar. And I said, let's go out on the balcony, and y'all can see the ocean in several places. And we just had a beautiful place to stay. Thank you, Miss Rita Smith. We appreciate the price that you got for us. Yes. But I want Linda to just minister to you tonight in a way that she wants to. Speak to them, tell them your heart, and then you pray. Just on the Lord, because this is Come Share the Joy, and I want you to share the joy of your salvation.
My life has been a joy. I've birthed 3 children. I've been married twice. I had a husband that died. And in the midst of everything, I've had good and bad days. But I'm telling you, the good days are a whole lot better. And now at my age, I decide when I get up in the morning, today's going to be a good day. I want to try my best for it to be a good day.
You were a widow for 17 years?
Uh-huh.
I thought she was never going to get married. She comes at Mom's one day and she said, me and my sister Marta and Mom down at the table. She said, I want to let you all know I'm in love. And I said, what'd you do, get a puppy or something? She's like, no, it's a man.
But a puppy came with it.
Oh, yeah, a puppy came with it. But yeah, and he is a precious man of God.
Yes, he is.
She couldn't have picked any better.
No. And he's really, really, really good to me and supports me. I appreciate that. But since I was 3, my little father died a tragic death. And my 2 brothers and I were left with a mother, 25 years old, that didn't have a job or anything. And God took, I looked back the other day and I asked Mom, how in the world did you make it?
3 babies.
I'm talking about 60 years ago, 70 years ago, 78 years ago.
Oh.
How did you make it? And she's such a bubbly in life and happy and joy. She's joy. Mother is joy. But I was thinking as we were here, and Debbie mentioned me speaking about something, and the only thing that would come to my mind was water.
Well, yeah, we got lots in the room.
Water.
First couple of days were a little cold.
I love the ocean. I have always loved the ocean. I love to listen to it.
Yes.
I love to look at it.
I see His majesty.
I love it. I love it. I love to walk on the beach, but I do not like getting in it. Just saying I don't get in it. But I like to swim where I know the bottom is. But when I look at the ocean, I see God. I see the grandeur of God, how He says, here's the ocean. It's just only going to go this far.
Mm-hmm.
And we very rarely hear about oceans.
No,
taking over. Yeah, except maybe that one tsunami that could happen any day. But I love water. I have always loved water. I was baptized in 1991 in the river of Jordan.
Oh, 91.
I've been saved 60 years, but I was baptized in the 90s.
Read it. In Israel.
Yeah, in Israel at the Jordan River. And the water amazes me. We were it's been 5 years ago since we went to out west. I was 70 before I ever got to see, or over 70, before I ever got to see the Pacific Ocean. Debbie and I got to see it together.
Bucket list.
Yes, that was one of my bucket lists. And I've been around the Atlantic a lot, and a lot of times. And one of the first places, I'm talking about water, one of the first places I ever saw in my life was Ocala, Florida, in the Silver Springs. We took the boys on a boat ride. The bottom of it was glass. You could see these big fish, all different colors. It was amazing. And the water temperature, believe it or not, nobody can do this but God. It's around 70 degrees all the time. All the time. And God just, says, ocean stop here, river flow here. It's just, it amazes me. There's just so much to it. But He's our life. He's our connection. He's our hope. Really, and
we're living.
Yes, living water. Living water.
Yes.
Yes. And it talks about water all through the Bible, and from Genesis to Revelation. I mean, when Moses got in trouble, he smacked the rock. But water come forward to feed 600 million people.
Yeah.
That had amazing. Looks to me like that would have been a big thing of water. But and he did it the years they were traveling and bringing them out of Egypt and everything. And God's provided everything. I was telling Debbie today, when you can't explain something that God has done, it's supernatural. You cannot explain supernatural. I want to live until I see what the old people used to say.
Well, I believe we're entering into that.
And not only that, the young people are going to read the word.
I believe that.
I believe that with all my heart.
Yes.
But God has He has just magnified Himself to me all my life. When I did lose my little daddy at 3, the Lord started dealing with me as a young child. And Debbie can tell you, we had wonderful parents. They were, you never heard her cuss word.
You were 5 or 6 when Mom and Dad got married.
I was 6.
6.
And, I never heard them cuss. I never heard
never argued.
Did they? I never heard them argue.
No, if they did it, they did it in their private, their right.
She was a lady. And Daddy was precious. My stepdad was precious. God chose him. But, in all that, and
I was just
talking to him. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was, she took my phone.
I'm sorry.
No problem. But, never heard a racist conversation.
No.
At our dining room table. And we always ate at the dining room table every evening.
Yes, ma'am.
Mother had a good meal on the table when Dad come in, and she would always straighten herself up and put her lipstick on, and be ready for Daddy. And our brother every day would say, "Mother, where are you going?" And she'd say, "Honey, I'm not going anywhere. Your daddy's coming." But we had a good life. So but they were not Christians. They were the best moral people that you would ever know. They were not Christians. And they would take me, as I was little, it was 8, 10 years old. Debbie and I started singing in church when I was about 8. I don't know how old she was.
I was about 8. You were a little older.
But anyways, I would get them to take me down to this little Methodist church. And when I got a little bit older, I'd get them to take me to the little Church of God. And I would take friends. I'd have sleeping parties and have 5 or 6 girls with me and take them to Sunday school at the Church of God at Mill Creek.
Yes.
In West Virginia. But,
it's sentimental place.
Yes. God has always been there. I can look back. There's a song out, Debbie. Dolly Parton and some gentleman wrote it. And a guy in our church sings it all the time. It's probably my favorite song.
Oh, you sing it with him, don't you?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's just about, that was Jesus. Looking back, the song you're looking back about.
All of our life, it was Jesus.
Yeah, everywhere I look back, I can see where Jesus' fingerprint was on my life. And I wouldn't take anything for the jury that God has set me on. Like I said, I've had some bad, which we all do. But what would you do looking in the face of a loved one, a husband or whatever, and not have the hope
Can you imagine?
that they are going to heaven, or that my first husband was a preacher. And I believe if anybody is going to be there, he's going to be there. But he was a hard man at first. He was really a hard man, but God miraculously saved him. And we birthed a church when about 88. And we didn't start out Pentecostal, but in the few months that we got started, it ended up Pentecostal. And I was used to the Church of God anyway. My grandmother was a Church of God preacher. And I got to preach up here 1 mile, less than a mile from the church where she preached her first sermon. But it's just God blessed me all my life. But we love Him. We have a good little church, good little people, and the Lord required of me to start clothing giveaways and food giveaways, and I probably did that 35 years in some form. But I loved every minute of it. And right before we closed, Abby, it was like Mark had felt like something was going to happen.
Mark is her
My son,
who is now
pastor. And he said he felt like something was going to happen. Well, we had no clue what it was, and we dealt with some rough ones sometimes. But we were open another year. I told Mark, I said, Mark, you start praying right now, and you and God decide. I'm 72 years old right now, and whatever y'all decide, I'll do it. And some of my girls are older than I am, and we worked good together. It was just a beautiful place. 100 to 150 a day was what we fed in the last 15 years. But he started praying, and about 6 months later, he took the clothes, quit taking clothes, because we were afraid our girls were going to get needles and stuff. And they were dropping them everywhere.
They were sleeping on the porch in the closet. Quite a good place.
The clothes and well, I won't go into what
feces and
I won't go into what always found. But we survived that, and then we were open another probably 6 months. And as God would have it, we probably were not closed 2 months when COVID came.
Yeah. So God knew COVID's coming.
That was a disaster.
Yes, it was. And you would have had to close anyway.
Oh, well, yes, I'd have had to close anyway, but that's been, how long? 5 years? That's been five years, 6. And it took me, I'd never rested in my life. I stood on my feet all my life doing something.
You were a hairdresser.
Yeah. I was a hairdresser, Sunday school teacher. I even stood when I was in church. And I just love what the Lord has had me do. And right now, He had sent a little guy, and he was a backpack, real clean, nice looking black boy. And he sat down to eat. And I always told the girls, I said, if I sit down with somebody, don't bother me, because I'm going to be talking to them. Are you saved? And this and that. And I sat down with him. We talked for a little while, and he wanted to know if the pastor would get him a room for one night. He said he'd really, really, really appreciate it. Well, Mark said he would, and he sat there and ate a good meal and came back the next day and ate a meal. But before he left that day, he had a book, about the size of a guidepost, and he wore 3 pages of it, and he said, "This is for you." And it was like, again, that was about a year before we closed. And it was like that I was going to have a rest. That God, my mind was, busy and all this stuff, and that I needed a rest. And I've been taking it, but it took me about probably half a year longer to be able to just sit.
And get used to it.
I wasn't used to it.
And now she rests a lot.
Yeah, and when I was doing the beauty shop, it was every 15 minutes, every 30 minutes, I had to synchronize everything. And now I just don't do anything. I keep clean house, and we go to church constantly. But this right here, Deb asked me the other day if I'd come, and I said, well, I don't know. I've never been away from Johnny that long.
Oh, please. They just make me ill. But y'all say all these little sweet nothings to each other.
He loves you too.
Oh, I love him too.
I know you do.
But I say, whatever, Johnny, whatever.
But anyway, she taught me into coming, and he said, "It's fine, Linda. You go on," because he's working on his son's house, and I probably was in the way sometimes. But I came on, and I am so glad I did. Two of our cousins came from Ohio and met us here. We just had a beautiful rest.
Yeah.
I mean, we have had a beautiful rest. Heard some beautiful
We
songs.
ate and we rested.
So ate.
We've been down in singing in the sun here in Myrtle Beach.
Right.
Gospel music.
Yes.
Singing.
But God has prepared this world for us to enjoy. And there's nothing that I love more, like I said, than watching and hearing
But we get so caught up
the ocean.
in the hustle and bustle and the hurry and do that we can't sit down and rest. We've ate out 3 times in a week.
Just 3.
We got groceries and we've been here at the house and we reminisced about the family and old times and we just had a good time and we just realized that we only ate out 3 times.
That's right. We've had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week. And I wouldn't take anything for it. I do miss Johnny, but I hope he misses me. But we just have, Baby and I have a good life. We have good lives. We got a beautiful younger sister, and we have a brother that's still living. And yeah, all right. Yeah, we have one. Yeah, okay.
And speaking of,
she was a twin. Oh my! Here we go. Here we go.
Speaking, I was a twin, and my twin died at 3 days old. And so I just found out the other day that my granddaughter is having my first great grandchild, and guess what? It is twins. And we find out we're going back tomorrow because Sunday is the reveal.
Yeah.
I am so excited.
Sunday at 2. So pray for DD at Sunday at 2 because we're going to find out what their names are. I think there's 2 boys.
I think it's a girl.
She wants a boy and a girl. And then somebody else told us today they thought it was 2 girls. So we'll know soon.
Whatever we're going to.
But now our younger sister had an ultrasound and they said, there's going to be a girl. How many dresses? 57?
Oh my, and washed them. We washed everything.
Them. And when the baby came, she couldn't even take him back. He was a boy. But anyway, we've had a beautiful life. Our mother is 98 years old, and she's the funniest person that I've ever been around. I never go to her house that she doesn't make me laugh. She makes me laugh. But the other day, she called, and Mom never does go through pity trips or anything.
Never.
But she was feeling bad, and she was lying.
But she don't tell you she's feeling bad.
No. She's lying on the couch, and she said, I was laying there, and I thought, where's all those people that I took cakes and stuff to when they were sick? And she said, wait a minute, they're all dead. But anyway, I said, Mom, I don't say much for your cooking. And then one day she just said, honey, I have lived so long. My friends will think I made it.
I said, Mom, why don't you sit here and no TV? And she said, I'm just sitting here thinking about the hereafter.
Yes.
So, I don't want to let her go.
No, I don't.
But she's homesick.
Without her.
She's homesick.
Yes, she is. Yes, she's one to go. She took care of her little mother 14 years. And she was the rock in our whole family. Because of her, probably there are 10 of us preaching.
Yeah. Well, and I said this, Grandma kept every circuit rider preacher that came through town.
She sure did.
Very seldom do, and I sing a lot and I travel a lot. Very seldom do I have to pay for a room because Grandma always took people in. And the Bible says, give and it shall be given. And I think that is just running over from her blessing.
Yeah.
And I thank God for it.
I think about John sometimes, and I think we talk about water, and I think, how did he feel when he baptized Jesus? Woo! I don't read the word Jesus baptized anybody. My son is a Pentecostal preacher, and this lady had been watching us on TV, and she said, Mark, I love to listen to your old sermons. I love to hear your old singing and piano playing and everything, but she said, I just don't understand the walking around the church.
Running around.
Lift your hands up in the air and shouting and stuff. She said, I just don't understand that. And she said, Jesus didn't act like that. He said, no, ma'am, he didn't, but everybody he touched did. Woo!
That was a good comeback. Yes.
So, we just love the Lord, and we try to serve people and try to serve our family and be good to our family. And, we're not all perfect. No way. None of us are perfect. But we have probably, 50 close. Mother had 5 children. We all had children. We had grandchildren, great-grandchildren. So on a holiday, it's nothing for there to be 50 people in Mama's house.
So we took Mom's garage because she didn't drive anymore, and that's the new dining room.
Right.
On holidays.
Right. Thank God she's still alive.
Yes.
They started a family reunion, and they never really talked about it much, did they? Why they had it, but we had
Uncle Harvey.
Yeah,
That's when they brought him.
I know, but they
Lord.
didn't talk much about it.
No.
But we had eaten on the ground, and you know, we
Preaching on the
preaching
cemetery.
at the cemetery, and our younger people didn't know anything about it. Our nieces and nephews, they didn't know too much about it. So, I got some pictures, and I made my son made an album for me, and it's beautiful, and it's the whole family. But Uncle Harvey was the oldest child, and he was killed. When he
gave his life for his
he
platoon.
gave his life, yes, his platoon. He was over his platoon, and they were getting run over, and they needed somebody to be a decoy for them that they knew would get killed. And he saved every one of his men's life.
That's the Bible saying, no greater love than
No
a man
greater
than him
love.
laying down his life for a friend. We know that means Jesus.
Right.
But when you think about Uncle Harvey.
I've always respected him.
Charlie
Always.
Kirk.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yes.
And we have been having it now. I was 1 year old. This will be the
Wow.
78.
Tell on your 70s.
78 years. Because I'm only 79.
Oh my.
Mom was pregnant, and my aunt was pregnant with our cousin and my youngest brother Scott, our youngest brother Scott. And they started having that. And when we told the young people, it tickled them to death. Yes. So I've got pictures of him and gave everybody pictures. And
now we do everything red, white, and blue.
Yeah, now we do everything, red, white, and blue in honor of Uncle Harvey. But again, I know I've said it several times, but we have had good lives. And God has multiplied his blessings upon us. And I don't know what else he could do for us, but we're blessed. I am praying, though. I used to have a real long list for Debbie to get a husband.
She's not going to tell me.
Now I just pray, Lord, send her a man that is as good and kind to her as my husband is me. And she deserves it.
I thought she was going to say, all he has to have is teeth. They can be false, but he has to have teeth. I thought that's what she was supposed to say. She teases. But if God has one out there, he'll find me. I'll find him.
If he does, you'll know it.
Yeah. But there's somebody out there that needs Jesus. There's somebody out there right now that ministers to that.
Right. You may not have gone through what I've gone through or what Debbie's gone through, but your life may be unthinkable to us. We might not know anything about what you've been through. But let me tell you this, whatever you've been through, God knows it.
Yes.
God knows it. Well, you might think, well, why didn't he stop this or stop that? The devil is always cruel, and he will do those things. And we blame God a lot of times for things he does not have anything to do with. But he will take a hedge down sometimes and allow us to be not tested. Try. But he loves you. I don't care what you've done. I don't care how many times you've done it. I don't care. Debbie and I have dealt with a lot of drug addicts and a lot of alcoholics and stuff like that. And they are all worthy to be saved.
Yes.
Because of him.
And if we can only say to ourselves, their normal is not our normal.
No.
I mean, we had a fairy tale normal.
We did. We did.
I can remember, Bob, the first argument that me and my husband had, he said, what do you think life's going to be, a fairy tale? And I said, well, my mom and dad said.
Yes, it was. It was. Mom was, Mom was something else. And she has always taught it. My mom was a lady, like I said a while ago. And she tried her best to raise three kids. And there was a little bit of failure there, but it wasn't her fault.
No.
But we love the Lord more than anything in this world. I wouldn't trade the life that I live, and the Lord lives in me, for any other walk of life.
There's one out there saying, well, let me have Jesus then. Somebody needs Jesus tonight. Yes. And we're going to pray for you. Linda, would you go ahead?
Yes,
pray for them.
Lord, our Heavenly Father, as we come before you, we are so thankful and grateful Lord, that we can call upon your name and you hear. If there's someone out here that needs love unconditionally, talk to them so they can call
Yes,
upon
Jesus.
you. Lord, there's nothing in the world like the peace that passes all understanding when you have tried with all your heart to live for him. No matter if it's 2 days, 20 years, Lord, bless those people that need you, that need you, and encourage the ones that already have you and are a little bit down on the luck. Yes, all. We know you will bring us through any situation. Thank you. And we thank you and love you. In your precious name we pray.
God bless you. And boy, it's good here. We've got tonight and a little bit of tomorrow.
No, we
got to head back to the hills.
We get to leave tomorrow.
Yes, get to go back. She gets to go back to Charlie. And I go see what my baby.
And you get to see what your babies are.
But thank you for tuning in to Come Share the Joy. And we love you. God bless you. And let Jesus be sweet to your soul.
Right. God bless you.
We've all been there before. Weighed down by life. Stressed. Stuck. Life has a way of placing burdens on our backs and fear in our hearts. Sometimes it's difficult to see our destination while wandering the depths of the desert. But even in the valleys of life, God is there with us. In our darkest moments, He is a light. In our greatest pain, He is our comfort. In the midst of fear, He is our courage. We serve a God who will never leave us, a Redeemer who will never forsake us, and a Savior who loves us beyond measure. Anywhere, anytime, in any moment, God is with us.